going on? What's going on? No Limits family, all my limitless ladies around the world. Thank you for tuning in to the Wednesday Live. I know I'm late, my bad, but this is free, so don't blame me. And yes, that rhymes. All right, guys, so I just finished the training today for picky eaters. If you got picky eaters, please listen up. I was going to make it for husbands, toddlers, and teenagers. Today it's going to be picky eaters and why your efforts to fail. Sorry, why your efforts to feed them will always fail unless you do these 5 things. But I'm just going to make it for toddlers today, okay? So if you don't have toddlers, you might be wasting your time if you're watching this. And when I say toddler, I don't know, what is that, like 1 to 5 years old? Probably anything under 10 years old, you're good, all right? So let me know if you're watching this live, comment live. If you're catching the replay, comment replay just so I know who's watching. And remember, Instagram over here, if you're not in the free Facebook group, you're missing the whole presentation. You can only hear me talk. If you want to see the whole presentation, message me support group. What's up, ladies? And I will get you in the group, all right? So here we go, picky eaters. One sec. Oh, Shandula, I got to talk to you after. Picky eaters, why your efforts to feed your toddlers will always fail unless you do these 5 things. Let's get into it, all right? So here we go. First of all, you need to know who in the chat has a kid under, let's say, 6. Okay, mine are, well, one is turning 2, one is 3, and one had like some really bad allergies, still does. Eggs, nuts, shrimp, which is weird because no one in my family has allergies. And this guy was used to throw up, eating food, like severe allergies, severe eczema, and we couldn't figure it out. And it turns out he's allergic to everything. So to this day, 3 years later, this guy is the pickiest eater in the world. And I thought I was, but no, it's him. So we've all been there, right? Battling with picky eaters who seem to have a master's degree in food rejection, okay? I think I've spent more money on food going on the floor than food going in my kid's mouth. Can I get an amen in the comments right now on that one? Okay? So I've uncovered the secret sauce to crack the code of picky eaters and turn your dinner time into something that's much less stressful, okay? So get ready to take notes. Does everyone have their pen and their pad? If not, run and go get it because this is going to be a good one today. Okay, everyone's good? So I'm excited to share these 5 ways to get your kids excited to actually eat and grow. Let's go. Here we go. So number 1, the appetite. Number 1 is your kid's appetite. So children learn their eating habits from who? Dad and mom, okay? If every night, who's calling me? Sorry about that. If every night at the table we have to be engaged in battle over whether the kids are going to eat what's on their plate or not, who do you think is going to win that battle? It's always going to be the kids, right? It's not you, mom. It's not you, dad. And a kid's appetite is guided over how it looks, how it tastes, and how it feels, the texture, okay? Rather than the performance of the food or rather than the macros of the food. Kids can care less about the macros, okay, mom? So in this training, we're going to encourage you to try different approaches to feeding the kids, really important. However, they're much more likely to eat the foods they're familiar with. Kids like routine. Kids like the same thing over and over and over. They like patterns, okay? Create staples in your kids' nutrition, just like you do with their daily routine. And here's an example of what I do with my kids. Remember what I said, they're very picky eaters. Every morning for the past 12 months, my kid has applesauce, Greek yogurt, and baby cereal. I mix them together, super filling, and then I have a banana or some slices of orange or apple on the side. They don't like apples anymore. That's how picky these kids are. So we usually go with an orange or a banana, okay? Number 2, portion sizes. Toddlers are not consistent eaters, okay? They don't eat the same amount at the same time from one day to the next. In fact, they eat when they're hungry and they stop when they're full. I feel like we all wish that was how it was with us, right? Don't force them because they'll just be more resistant to food if they're not ready. They have to take their time, all right? Number 3, so don't force them. Number 3, sneaky chef, where my veggies at? So what if I told you that you can have the exact same flavor and texture of mac and cheese in a healthy way without your kids even noticing? Would you believe me? if I told you that you could have the same literally flavor and texture of mac and cheese, but sneak in some healthy stuff without your kids noticing? How amazing would that trick be, right? Hey, it's DC. What's up, Danielle? Okay, so how amazing would that be? So by changing the appearance and consistency of food, it makes it easier to hide in another recipe. Let me show you how to do that. It's called a blender. Okay, it's nothing new. Okay, there's no rocket science going on here. All you need is a simple blender, add a little bit of water, mash the food your kid does not like. Obviously, make sure it's kind of tasteless. Zucchini, cauliflower, broccoli, even spinach, things like that, and make it puree like a mashed potato. Okay, obviously your kid has to like mashed potatoes for this to work. Don't make it like a smoothie. Make it like a mashed potato. Okay, picture it's like an 80-year-old grandma with no teeth. Okay, just make it the same as that. Now you have a meal prep for the picky eater, but it's packed with nutrients. Okay, and they're gonna eat that up like potatoes. So take a screenshot. Instagram, if you're not in the free Facebook group, you can't see the recipe here. I'm not going to even bother saying it because it's kind of long. So take a screenshot right now of this mac and cheese recipe. Everyone's got the screenshot? Okay, good. Let's keep it going. Number 4, and if you don't have the screenshot, make sure you join the free support group. Message me support group, and I'll send you the link. Number 4, how families thrive. It's by leading by example. That's how families thrive. Eating together as a family helps children accept and try new foods. The attempt to try in anything in life, whether that's trying your fitness goals, trying hiring a coach, trying a new food, it's the attempt, okay? That's how you'll become successful. You actually have to try. So when children are exposed to different foods consistently, they become more familiar with them. It takes about 15 to 20 exposures to food. This is something new. I didn't even know this. It takes 15 to 20 exposures to food for them to actually accept it. Maybe not necessarily eat it, but at least to try it and have it be in front of them, okay? 15 to 20, that's a lot. That's a lot of wasted food. And more importantly, when children see others at the table trying new foods, they may feel encouraged to do the same. Whose kids are in daycare here? Do we have any kids in daycare? We have to because most of you guys are working moms. So let me know in the chat whose kids are in daycare. When we put our kids in daycare, my kids started eating so much more because they saw their colleagues, whatever that they're called, their classmates, I guess. They saw them eating food, and nobody wants to be that kid that's left out not eating. It's just weird. The kid feels weird. So the kid is going to try. Why? Because there's like 10 other students or colleagues eating the same food, okay? Your kid doesn't want to be the weirdo. So once my kid started going to daycare, yes, he got sick like every single week, which is ridiculous. But at least he was eating more foods he felt comfortable with, okay? Number 5, how to keep the snackers from over snacking. Last one. I think it's the last one. Given that, here's a crazy fact. Listen to this. Listen to this. This is very sad, actually, so maybe don't listen to this. 1 in every three children in this country, North America, continent, sorry, is overweight, considered overweight, okay? 1 in 3 kids. This is, for me, is just crazy. So this method I'm going to teach you here is very important. 1 in 3 kids is overweight. The hack to avoid over snacking with your children is to add high volume, nutritious ingredients. Damn, that motorcycle's loud. High volume, nutritious ingredients that have fewer calories per portion in a calorie dense meal. So let's think about it like this to make more sense. Think popcorn over chips. Think vanilla Greek yogurt over ice cream. Air fried potatoes over French fries, and homemade pizza versus Pizza Hut. Okay, our kids don't get overweight by themselves. It's like they don't even know how to make their own food. It's the parents that are feeding them the food that is obviously not fueling their body, or they're not running around, they're not in sports. And when I see this stuff, it kind of hurts my heart a little bit because I just know I know how other kids are, right? They're kind of vicious and they're bullies and they're not always nice, and they're going to pick on that kid. And it's just kind of sad to see. So, hey, if you're a parent and you don't want to take care of yourself, that's one thing, but don't let that pass down to your kid. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. And sure, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but hate it. Don't hate me, hate the game. Okay, so this will allow your picky toddlers to indulge without going overboard with the calories. So let's do a quick recap to see if you guys are paying attention. Picky eaters, while your efforts to feed them will always fail unless you do these 5 things. Here we go. I'm going to recap this for you guys real quick. So number 1 is your kid's appetite. The trick here is by challenging the appearance and consistency of the food, it makes it easier to hide in another recipe. I shouldn't even say recipe, hide another ingredients, I guess we could say. Number 2, portion sizes. Portion sizes are important for toddlers as they help ensure appropriate nutrition and, and promote healthy eating habits during their crucial developmental stages of growth, right? One of my kids is actually very short. He's very small. Um, I think a big reason for that is he's a picky eater. He doesn't eat that much, no matter how much we try. So his little brother, who's almost 14 months younger, he's almost the same size, and he's 10 times stronger. The older one is kind of weak, and the guy just doesn't eat. He's not feeling his body. So portion sizing is really important to help them grow and be strong. So brain function as well. Number 3, sneaky chef. Where are my veggies at? Here's the trick for this one. By challenging the appearance and consistency of food, it makes it easier to. I already said that. My bad. My bad on that one. I'll have to circle back. Hey, I'm not perfect. Number 4, how you guys are like, no doubt you ain't perfect, bro. Number 4, how families thrive. Leading by example. Add high volume, nutritious ingredients that have fewer calories per portion in a calorie dense meal. Okay. Number 5, how to keep the snackers from over snacking. The hack is to add high volume foods, which include nutritious ingredients that have fewer calories per portion in a calorie dense meal. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. If you have any questions, reach out to me. And if you want the free meal plan that comes with this training, or you just want the slides, message me picky eater, and I'll send you the whole training. All right. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next. Oh, not next Wednesday, because I'm doing a live training with our clients. If you want to join that, message me. You can definitely join. It'll be on Thursday, 7 o'clock. Not sure what the topic is, but those are fire. So really looking forward to seeing you and supporting you.